Good afternoon, you're watching Newsfeed. I'm Maricar Bautista. Authorities have monitored a significant movement of passengers at seaports nationwide. The Philippine Coast Guard says over 190,000 individuals departed while more than 187,000 returned home. To ensure safety and efficiency during this busy period, nearly 3,000 personnel were deployed across 16 districts. The Coast Guard also inspected 1,745 vessels and 2,156 motor bancas to maintain maritime security. This heightened alert status was in effect from December 20 to January 3 to manage the influx of travelers returning from the New Year celebrations. The public is encouraged to reach out to the Coast Guard for any inquiries or concerns through their official social media channels. The Philippine Navy is investigating an underwater drone discovered in Masbate. Fishermen recovered the underwater drone last December 30. It had Chinese markings, but Navy spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, is not alarmed. He adds it would need extensive forensics to say where the drone came from, and they wouldn't want to jump into conclusions just yet.
When we look at the drone itself, may mga markings, but doesn't indicate anything else except that may markings. It would need extensive, forensics to be able to say with finality or conclusively kung kanino ito, saan galing ito. And we don't want to jump the gun or wala pa namang results. Usually this time of the year, ito yung mga time na may mga nawawash ashore na ganitong drones at baka typhoon season, masama ang panahon, malakas yung alon, malakas ang kuryente. So if we look at it in the past, ganitong panahon, maraming mga reports na mga underwater drones or even surface drones na nakikita ating mga fishermen.
China once again sent its largest Coast Guard ship, dubbed the Monster, to Panatag Shoal, also known as Bajo de Masinloc or Scarborough Shoal. In response, the Philippines sent in its own Coast Guard vessels together with those of the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources or BIFAR. Professor J. Batumbakal of the University of the Philippines Institute for Maritime Affairs and Law of the Sea expressed satisfaction with the Marcos administration's actions concerning the West Philippine Sea issue. Speaking to Billionario News Channel's Agenda, Batumbakal favored the current administration's stronger stance against China's actions, more than that of the previous Duterte administration. He noted that the Monster's deployment is part of China's ongoing plan to assert control over the area.
Yung pagpapadala natin ng mga barko, BIFAR vessel, Coast Guard vessel, yung mga yon, yan ay isang paraan para nga i-counter itong mga palabas na ito ng China. Hindi natin siya matatapatan directly in the sense wala naman tayong barko na ganun din kalaki, no? Pero in the sense na yung napapakita natin na nag-exercise din tayo ng jurisdiction doon sa area, yun parang natatapatan natin.
While diplomatic protests clarify the country's legal position on the West Philippine Sea issues, Batumbakal doubts that those can change China's behavior. Vietnam's capital Hanoi is currently facing a severe air quality crisis, having been declared the world's most polluted city. On January 3, air quality levels reached a hazardous index score of 305, with PM 2.5 particles measured at 266 micrograms per cubic meter, significantly exceeding safe limits. Local residents are feeling the impact of the thick smog, particularly vulnerable groups such as the elderly and those with respiratory issues. The persistent pollution is attributed to heavy traffic, industrial emissions, and trash burning, which have worsened visibility across the city. In response to this environmental emergency, government officials are advocating for a transition to electric vehicles to combat pollution. Authorities aim for at least half of public buses and all taxis to be electric by 2030. As Hanoi grapples with this pressing issue, residents are left hoping for effective measures to improve air quality and safeguard their health.
There is serious air pollution in Hanoi at the moment. We, the elderly, can feel it very significantly, especially those of us who suffer from respiratory problems that lead to trouble breathing. This is a situation that seems to be getting more and more serious in recent times.
In the early morning, I thought it was fog on the way to take my exam, but I later found out that it was actually fine dust that reduces my vision and makes me feel like it is not healthy to breathe.
With the seriousness of this air pollution, the only way for me to protect myself is to wear layers and layers of protective clothing.
And in Shanghai, China, a tech firm has made significant strides in the humanoid robot industry, marking the beginning of mass production. The company has successfully produced nearly 1,000 humanoid robots in 2024, with plans to scale up production to thousands of units this year. Engineers are rigorously testing these robots, ensuring they can support substantial weights and perform complex movements without issues. This testing process includes multiple stages, such as a squat test that must be repeated over 2,000 times for each unit. The production leverages advanced components from the domestic new energy vehicle sector, allowing for a high localization rate in manufacturing. As humanoid robots continue to evolve, their capabilities will expand, with features like touch sensitivity and various movement forms being developed. Experts predict that while progress will accelerate in 2025, further breakthroughs in software and hardware are necessary for these robots to operate autonomously and interact seamlessly with humans. The goal is for these robots to become commonplace in households across China in the near future. And those are the news at this hour. I'm Maricar Bautista. We'll be back at 4 p.m. with more updates. Stay tuned to Billionario News Channel on Free TV Channel 31, Channel 24 on Cignal, Channel 74 on Converge, and on our website bnc.ph. Thanks for watching.